What's up, guys? I'm Doc from SampleKings.com. And of course, we do lessons, not just make videos here on YouTube. And you can also subscribe to us here on YouTube. But to get even more, join us right here. It's just $25 for a 1-year membership. You'll be able to download over 100,000 samples. Plus, you'll get recording contracts, everything you possibly could need to have a really great experience dealing with recording your music or the music recording process. Now, we also give lessons. Even if you're not a member, you can get lessons from us right here. You can pay with PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. These links work right here to those apps. Now, to book time is very simple. You come right to here, SampleKings.com. It's just $20 an hour. If you're a member, it's just $15 an hour. Of course, the codes are here to pay with Cash App and to pay with Venmo. If you want to book a session, you come down here and say you want to book a session with Logic Pro and the new update for Logic Pro. You come right here and say, well, look, I want to work with you on Friday. You come to Friday, pick the time you want to work. Maybe it's 4 p.m. when you get off work. You write your first, last name, your email address right there. If you're in America, your telephone number here, outside the country right here. And also, tell us what you want to learn during that session. Once you finish doing that, just press book and book it right here. It's pretty simple to do. Any questions, hit us up at SampleKings.com. You know why? Because our phone number is right there. Let's reload the page right now, and you will see that our phone number is right here. Don't be scared to call. We do answer. And if you pay for your session, it's booked. And when you first open up your Mpc 3.5, the desktop beta edition, you will see here the basic idea you see on the standalone, of course. You got the same drums we've got here. So the software must load up with these sounds first, obviously, since they're the same as they are on the standalone. And of course, you can add sounds or whatever you want to add, but it's the same, basically the same thing. So for example, if I want to load sounds in here, I would come to here or here or here. So this first one is called the file browser. And notice the name appears there. So what's cool about the software is that you will see a name most times tied to something you point at. I'm pointing at here with my cursor, and here you see expansion browser. Here you see media browser, right? If I come into file browser, this opens up on the right-hand side here. And I could browse anywhere on my computer, anywhere. For example, here, I'm browsing through Native Instruments. I can get through any kind of sample packs or whatever they got here and go through Native Instruments. I can also go to here, let's say this folder here, and I can look at Mpc 3 files that came with that. I can see here, these are the content files for Mpc. I get to here, I see even more stuff. And I can also come to right here, and I can go up to the parent directory. So a folder up, and a folder up, and I'm right here. I have the Mpc stuff right here, a bunch of Mpc stuff right here, right? I can go back down, click on here. I'm going to go down the folder. So you can see right here, I can go from the Mpc 2 demos, drum content, loop library, and to every expansion pack that I have in here and look through them or just get to them automatically. Now, let me explain the top of this file browser. We've got like 5 different folders here. Like here's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And number 1 folder you can see is tied to the vault, which is an Mpc expansion. Once you get here, you'll see it just propped down with a bunch of the stuff that's in there, right? And this is something with acoustic symbols here. So I may not want that, but I can also change how it could be ascending or descending. So I can come to here, we start from V.
Big wheels.
Now the reason why the sounds are playing is because we have this on right here where it's auto play. I select something, it automatically plays. I can also come back again.
Big wheels.
And big wheels plays because I'm just holding down this play button. The audio level is right here for that too. And this right here is our warp. It'll warp to the current tempo that I have selected. So it just sets it up to be playing at a particular way that I prefer to have it in this case. Of course, this is the volume, and this is relatively a new button I haven't seen yet, so they're probably going to add something to there eventually. This is a new software. They're trying to update it as they go along. But you get the idea. So I can do, let's go back here. I'm going to go back to descending order, which I prefer. And I can select, let's see, samples. And I would see all the samples there. I might select programs. I see all the programs here, right? I can select sequences. So I would see all those that pertain to this particular location and applications, MPC, expansion, Vault 2. So it's easy to get around to. Now I can also come to here, let's say, and look at some other ideas. Let's say expansion, instruments here as well. I can see this. I may want to populate a list. I click right there though. I get a list of everything it can see that I can actually use in my MPC support section, right? I see all the expansion packs, the other folders I had from the years of having the MPC file on my computer. I've got tons of stuff here, which is ridiculous. I'm not saying ridiculous, but a lot of fun to have inside my system. Now, as you can see here, I've got this number 3 folder selected. And of course, it tells me the contents right here. And I can actually go up higher. I get to here, right? Or I can come back down. I get to here. I'm going to go back down to here, let's say. Right? And so I can change where my location is by going to the parent directory. And so if I select right here, I want to see just the project program. And so I come to here, I will see those sequences for that particular project. I want the samples, I come to here, I might look for, let's say, a bass. I'll put bass here in my search, and a list will populate down here lower, in the lower section right here, and you'll see it. There's a lot of basses right there. That's amazing. I can just use my up and down arrow and just select which bass I like the most, you know? So I like that bass. And I've already got a bunch of sounds over here. I can go to B-Bank. B-Bank's empty. I'll come to here, drag it, put it right there. It's right there. Got the bass lined up. So you can drag files directly to here to the pad directly from our file browser. Once you find a file you like, you just drag it over there. Pretty simple. Now also, not just the file browser we also have here, which is the expansion browser. All my expansions are right here. I come down to here, I can hit expansion, it's gold dust, I hit that one. I'll move up a little bit and I can see what I have here, program samples, sequences, and projects. I can click on here, open up a sequence, or here open up a program. It's pretty simple to do. And so when I get here, we'll say, for example, I may come to here, I can hear back these programs. So I come to here, I'll see a program here. It plays back that program. I can stop it here. 2 clicks on that stop button. I might want to use some samples from that program. You never know, right? I can also go to this program right here. Let's see, it's Trap Soul. I may want to go to this one right here. So it's pretty easy to get some sounds, listen to some sounds from expansion pack, and drag them to a pad or keep them. Now, if I want to load this in, we'll say, I wouldn't go to here. I would go close this out. I go down to here and see sequences, and I would say, you know, I want to load that in and see what it looks like. I come to here. This is the file here, and I'm going to press load, or click it twice actually, and load it in, right? And you see that? We're going to scroll back down to here. It loaded it in right there. But it also, click on here, loaded the samples in. Click stop sign here twice. And so I can load an entire project here when I get further down here and I get to this section here, we have sequences, right? If I click on a sequence, it will also load the program along with it, which contains all the sample sounds. Now, next to our expansion browser, we have our media browser. I'll click right here, and you'll see here's the media browser. We have the expansions up here. I can show them or hide them right there. I have a filter below here too as well. I'm going to filter through programs, presets, projects, sequences, samples, whatever I choose. And below there, we have clips, instruments, kits, melodic, multi, or stems. So there's a great variety in how I could actually choose what I'm looking for, right? When I'm looking at one of these projects. But you'll notice here too, the expansions are open here, so not one is selected, so it's looking through all of them at the same time. If I select one expansion pack, then we get to see what's going on here. There's just kit, multi, right? And we have this deep house as the genre, and that's all we're going to see right there for that particular one. If I don't want to just see that, I will click on here again, and now I have access to all of them. Now the multimedia side of this browser will look through all the media that's inside this browser and give me a list of, let's say, for example, right here, I see all the programs. Presets, no presets. I'll come to here. I want to see the projects, sequences, and I may want to see any one of these samples. I can find a sample, like drag it. I may look just for, let's say, jazz house, right? You come here, these are the jazz house samples. So they give you the category, and it breaks it down again into instrument family, instrument, whatever, say just bass, and you get just 2 of these. But it's kind of cool how they can do that. I'd come back to here again. I know I selected something in here, so okay, forget that. Let's go to here, select it, unselect it. Okay, I'm back out of that. I may go back to here. I can see the filters and everything else. And now I'm just about back where I started from. But the media browser is a great way to find stuff that's in the expansion packs. Now up here at the top to the right, we have this button right here, which is the auto scroll. And we have this button here is for our keys. So my keyboard for my computer is turned into pads. So from pad Z, X, C, V up to 1, 2, 3, 4 represent the pads, right? And so you can see that it represents that right here. And this other one for sequence, or actually for the auto scroll for this particular sequence, I can press play start here. And press stop. And you see what happens? I'm playing from the top, and you'll see you can't see anything at all. Now I'm in this, I can actually make it larger. I'll go here to the grid and make it a little bit bigger like that. And I can start again from the top. But I'm going to go to here right now. I'm going to click on this right here, right? And then I'm just going to play. I'm going to play from just play at the top. And now you see it scroll past everything as it moves along. And that's how auto scroll works. I can also come here into my grid view, and I can sort of like get the entire view from here in the bottom. And from here on the side, I can stretch out whatever I see. Go down, see it very small, or large, expand it. It's a great way for you to actually look around and see what you've got and make your events that appear here in the grid bigger or smaller. Now, I can also hit my pads here with my keyboard. Right? And I can also get down to here, and I can actually click on here, and now I've got them as keyboards or keys right here. See that? That's keys right up there. And so what I can do here for keys, I can play an instrument. So for example, I have track 1 over here on the left-hand side. I might want to make a new track. Okay, I'll make this new track a plugin track. And I'll press OK. And now you see it's a plugin track right there, plugin 1. And now you see here I have this tube synth right here, right? If I play the keys, I'm playing A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K on my keyboard. And it plays those sounds as though I'm playing a keyboard right here. Pretty cool. Now, if I click here again, the keyboard on my computer becomes a keyboard. So if I want to close my media browser, I can just go to, let's say, open the expansion browser, the file browser, the media browser, hit the media browser again. So I hit B again, it closes. That's B. That's X for expansion and F for file. You can open and close them at will, no matter what. When you're right here, where it says right here, keys off. Now, once I've gotten everything from my expansion pack, I'll just close this out here. I've got my kit made up here, right? I have a drum kit here and the original one too as well. And so I can see those actually. If I come over to here to track, I will see the original default kit right here. right? And I'll come back to here. I'll see the current one I have from that track, from this track right here. I'll press play start. Stop that right there. And of course, I come down to here. I will see the plugin track I have, where I have these plugins. And this, of course, is this tube synth. Now, if I want to see it, I come to here. I can see the parameters for the tube synth. You can see it right here inside the software. It's kind of cool. I can click out of that too as well. I can pick a different sound if I want to, of course. Let's say I want to go to Fabric XL. I'll come to here. Oh, not activated. So I got to come back, activate it. So let's go back, dismiss this. And why it's not activated, I'm not too sure. So I'd come to here. You want to check your activations out. You come to here. Oh, activate. So you need to activate. And these things will come on automatically. These plugins will come on once I activate them. Activating right there, as you can see. I can deactivate the subway if I want to hear and see it's activating now. That's activated. So make sure when you actually do restart that you have everything ready to go and it's been activated already. So now I see Fabric is activated right here. I can press OK, close out here, and I come back to here again in the plugin section, and I'll say, okay, look, I want to get this plugin going on, so let's stop, clear this out. I want to go here and get this plugin going on. I'm going to come to here. I'm going to get my list going on, so I'm going to get to the MPC plugins. I'll come to here, right? And I want to come to Air right here, and I see my Fabric XL right here, and now I have it loaded up. I come to here, and now I can see that. So when I actually turn the machine on, you got to be aware of that too. That's going to make sure your plugins are loaded in. If not, they won't be loaded, okay? And that's, even if you bought them already, it just doesn't make a difference. So I've got that in there too. That's kind of cool. I can always come to like here, as you know, chords. You can always come with the chords as well here. I don't like that sound. I may come down here. I'm going to go to pianos. I may want to go to upright piano or studio grand. Let's say there, I do. All right, I can always change the pitch here or lower. Right? And it can happen here too with octaves as well. And this is the pad perform section that you see also on your standalone. It's right here inside of your MPC software as well. Now, actually, this is the grid view we have here. And if I go back to here, I'm going to go back to my original track, which is the one right here. We have this data right here, and I have this track playing. Stop that. We have more than just this grid view. We have the waveform too. If I select the instrument, I can get the waveform of that instrument. So I select the instrument right here, and I will see this instrument right here. I can see the waveform of this sample right here. As I select it, it will play right through. That track is actually turned off, and I did tap it, and here on the left-hand side, you see it says A14 right here. I can unmute that, and I'll hit it again. And it's playing right through now. Now I can also adjust this in some ways, but mainly as you can see on the top, we have the ability to say add layers, right? We also have the idea of where it's from. This is a sample, it's the name of the sample right there. We see the keys C# minor right there. We can edit the layers if you want to. We have our start and end to the sample. It's already been edited that way. It's been locked into as well. But you'll see here, the most important thing to see actually here is going to be this Elastic Pro, right? And this is the new default system, Elastic Pro, for actually your samples when you want to warp them out. This is warped, right? I don't warp it or warp it, but warped, it's 80 BPM. And here, that's 80, right? And so I can also speed up or down. It will still match the speed because it is warped. Be aware of that. If I want to get real particular, I can also time switch this thing out, stretch it out a little bit more if I want to. And we'll cover that later on, our special video on how to use samples and sampling in the MPC 3.5 desktop beta. Right now, I want you to understand that you can do more inside the grid. The grid also has a list of every event for every single sound. So if I have this drum track going on, going on here, it's the bass drum, and we see where the bass drum is throughout the entire sequence, this entire sequence right here. The sequence is 4 bars, it's 80 BPM, and you can see with the bass drum is. I can hit it for snare drum. That snare drum's right there. And you see where it's at too as well. Here's on 4, right? I'll scroll down a little bit more, up a little more rather. And here it is on 3-2, 3-4. And you see where these are inside the grid. And here we see the events in terms of just this little orange thing or yellow thing. These are just the events where those sounds were placed to see them in this grid view. Now, as you can see right here on the upper right-hand corner here, it has export MIDI. So I can export a MIDI file of everything here in the grid. I can also export the audio as well, in case I want to let someone hear it or something, right? So, for example, I'd come down to here so I can see where it's going to go. I'm going to go here, and then once that turns red, I can drag it out like this, and that's it. And it's MIDI track 1 MIDI, right? So I go like this, and it's in my system. I can come to here also, and I'll click this, and once it does, I'll see this come up as an icon on my Mac, and I'll press let go right there. Now I'm going to pull this software view down, and I'll see it here under my music, and I'll see the track right here, which is the audio track. And I'm going to play it back with QuickTime Player here on my Mac, and then I'm going to just press play. It's a cool way to actually get some tracks off your system, makes it easier. And so if I wanted to, if I come to here, and I may want to just play this back as a MIDI file, I can't do that. I got to go to a MIDI software. So, for example, if I come to here and I want to open it up, oops, let me go back to here. I right click here and open it up, right? I can pick where I want to send it to. So my actual destination here would be, let's say, Logic Pro. And so we go to Logic Pro. Logic Pro would open up. This is 11.2 Logic Pro. And then once it opens up, the MIDI file will be right there. And here it is right there. That's the MIDI file right there. Okay, right. And so this would be the MIDI file right here, the MIDI file. I don't see much in the MIDI file at all whatsoever, but I guess they're going to fix that up with the other projects. Watch this, I pull it open here, and there's nothing actually really there. No MIDI file, and I would see that otherwise. I would see this MIDI file, and I would see, here's a way to see the piano roll data. And what do we see here actually? Let's drag down on the side. And we see nothing at all from that MIDI file. So I guess they'll fix it up later on some of the time. But we know how to do it, at least from that point. It works that way on the older machine. Hopefully it'll work this way on this machine too. Let's go, don't say, get out of that one there. And we're back to our MPC right here. Now also, now here, this is right, this little hook arrow-like is like a redo, and this is undo. So if I come in and do, let's say I'm going to grab, this is even simpler. I'll come to here and I'm going to press delete and they're all gone. And I say, well, you know, I want to undo that. Oh, I can redo it or undo it. That's obviously pretty simple. That's what we always do. And of course, here we have, this is hit pad, select events. If I hit the pad, select my events, right? And this is to snap everything absolutely to the grid. And this also here just snaps and locks the link and grid views, which is pretty cool. Now also right here, this is our eraser tool. I can come in here and erase stuff. I don't want that. Erase that out of there, right? Just click on erase it. I can do back to undo, and it's back there. I have a selector tool here, as you normally would have, and I select down here. I can select, oh, well, I want to get rid of that stuff. Oh, no, I want to go back and get rid of this one thing here, right? So I want to select the area I want to select in. I select that area right there. I can do some attenuation, fix something, or do what I want to do there, but it's my selector tool. And of course, I snap in here again, it ends. I can come to here, and I have a pencil tool, and I'll bring this down to here, I turn to a pencil, and then I'm writing stuff in. Let me grab this pencil tool like this, I come all the way right there. Or I'll put it over here, right? Let's undo that, actually, undo and undo. So these are our tools within the grid also as well. Now below our grid right here, we're going to see other parameters. For example, I'll click velocity here, and I'm seeing the velocity for a selected coming here. So this is selected right here, and this is my velocity I see for this right here. This is the hi-hat, and these are the velocities for that hi-hat. They're right there. And see it to the max, so I click on here, and they're all 100%. let's see, ratchet or probability. His probability, here's a ratchet right here. Here's a modifier to, as well for tuning. And I can also add more. Say, for example, those are the hi-hats. I may come to here, and I see that's hi-hat is pad number 8. I can come to here and see it's a compressor on this track. And I'll see it right here. This is the bus compressor on that track. And I can add that parameter too, and it will be seen here in our view down here as I select that particular parameter. In this case, I'll just select velocity and we'll see the velocity. Now, for example, if I come back to here, I select the default pad that we've got there, or the default track, which is trap kit default. I'd come to here, of course, I'll see that drum. Now I can always put events here too as well. I can come here and say I want one there, I want one here, and I want to put one here, and I want one here, and I want to put 2 here, yeah, like that. I may want to do that, and I may want to come back and do something else, let's say like here, right? I'll put one here, just one here, and I'll get rid of that one. And move this here, let's say, or move it further away, right? Let's see how it sounds. And so I've added events inside the grid. I'll press play start. So you get the idea. I can actually create events anywhere I want to within this grid, you know what I mean? I've got this snare drum here. I may want to go 2 and 4. I'll come here 2, and then there's 4 right here. Where so there's 2 right here, and there's 4 here. I'm gonna leave that one there, and I go 2, and 4, and 2, and 4 again. And then I'm going to do 4 here, right, and then 2 here. And I'll play from the top. I don't want this one. So you can add events, take events away. So you can actually add events here and get your workflow perfect how you want to have it. Test where you want to have a certain beat be at or not, and take it out or take it in. You can come here too. Watch this. I can come here too and just click on this whole row. I'll click on it right there. I can get rid of the entire row. I'll just press delete on my computer and it's gone, right? I can do the same thing for the 808, so I can just come and get a few sections. I get my selector tool again. We'll use our tools here. I may say, I don't want this section here. I'll get rid of that one. And I'll get rid of this one right here, right? Like that. And I'll just play it back and see, well, what I like or not. You know? You get the idea. You can do what you want to do here by just inserting events and playing them back, or even just play them into by hitting the pads. If you're set up for controller mode, it's pretty easy to do. Now, next to our pads here, we have our Q-Link view. And there are a couple different views here for Q-Link. There's many more than you think here, of course. And this is just the screen view, project 1, project 2. These are just views I could have here for this particular project. And the Q-Link mode here. So for example, if I press play here, you see this playhead go by here, right? So I'm gonna go here on the right-hand side and make this a bigger view there. And this white line going through is our playhead. And you'll see here, this is the play. And if I move this along here, I'm moving the playhead. See that? I'm moving the playhead there, all the way around there. If I come to here and click it one time, you'll see the metronome change right up here, right? So I'm changing the metronome's value from on to off. I have timing correct. Timing correct's right here. So whenever I place a note on the grid, it corrects properly within that grid based on the level here, the time correction value, which is 16th notes. And if I go here and turn this off, then anything I put there will be anywhere. I can move it anywhere in the grid, and it'll just be, so I move it slowly, you see? Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that piece. That piece is gone. But if I have the timing correction on, on now, I'll come to here, and now when I move it around, it has to slide directly into that section. Let's get rid of that. So that's timing correction. So everything you can actually control on this scene in the screen right here, you see here, can be done here. Any of the parameters I would like to do, the major parameters, like a tempo, for example. I can change my tempo here, loop start, everything here can be changed, including the bars, which you see right here, right? Which appear right over here. So I can change those bars from here or right here. Right here, I just drag down, right, there's 2, I'll make it 4 bars. Pretty simple to do. So this helps out a lot like it does on the standalone, but it works the same way here in the Mpc 3.5 desktop beta. Now before I showed you my undo and redo up here, right? And here's the undo. Now down here, we can click right here. It says undo history. And you can see the entire history of everything that's happened while I've been doing this entire session of this video. And it's all right here, which is so cool. And you can go back to anywhere you want to go back to, anywhere within the undos, which is kind of like really great to see. And this is you look for an event, I want to go here, I want to go back, I want to go back to here. You'll see it right here within the system. You see action here and the details. And over here will be the number. How many do we have here going on? Which is pretty cool. Now next to that we have here, this is our MIDI learn. So how to learn MIDI, this will teach MIDI to us on using a certain keyboard. And I want to say, okay, how do I map this keyboard out throughout this MPC software so the keyboard does what I want it to do? And we MIDI map here. Now the cool thing about MIDI mapping here is that you can come, there's a factory preset for a lot of stuff. There's a preset factory for Ableton. A lot of the Akai stuff has already been mapped out. Elise has been mapped out. Autry has been mapped out. This is great. Arturia, great. We have here also Korg, and we have M-Audio, Native Instruments, and Novation. So everything's here for you to do whatever you want to do when mapping out MIDI within your MPC desktop. Now, so far, I haven't done anything with playing chords or anything here, but you noticed here inside the software, what's really common today inside the MPC and other softwares is that they give you the key. And the key is normally correct. Like, for example, here you'll see this says C# minor. So we see it here in the sequence, and it says right here C# minor. So that's going to be the key, right? And so I've got a track here for my plugin. And I'm going to go to here, tracks, right? And my plugin's right here. And my plugin's going to be Fabric XL. And I've got this thing called the Max Special. I think that's what it is, right? Max Special right there. And it should be right here under this one here. Yeah, Max Special. So I'm coming to here. I'm going to see how this sounds. I like that. It's pretty good. Okay, so this is in C#. This is our pad perform. I can come to here. I've got chords. I can go to notes actually too as well. A little echo will apply to that. And if I want to change that, I can come back here to my Fabric XL. I would see my setup here and change where that delay is coming from. But so cool here is that you can see everything here, parameters you can actually change within the Fabric, which I do like a lot. So I'm going to keep that there. I like that there. So I'm going to come back and then sort of play this track from the beginning. And since it is Fabric and this is going to be C#, I better change this root note to C# right here. And these are the notes. I'm going to go with chords. Is there a melody here? Let me play this back a little bit. Yeah, a little melody in there already, right? So I'm going to come into here. I'm going to use the chords. And I'll click the chords here. So that's perfect. Look at that. It fits right in. You can tell by hitting that one chord, it fits. I hold it down, do the whole song, just 4 bars. Okay, great, so I'll press stop here. So let me play it again. I'm gonna do this. This might be better. So let's play this. Let's play this. So I got my chord figured out. My chord's going to be, this is C, and we're going to be in minor, so we're in natural minor here, and we're going to do chords, and of course my chord's going to be 1, 3, 5, a triad. And here also in this track here, so I make sure my track here is set for record right there, and I'm going to go to record here, and I'm going to press play start. So it's a little off there, right? So I'm doing the keyboard, so I'm gonna go right back to here, and I'm gonna grab these notes and put them right in the top. Oop, undo that. I'm gonna drag them to the, oop. So you see we played some parts in here. It's kind of cool. We know it was minor. Let's turn this off here, of course. And you can do a lot within this new software for the MPC desktop beta. Now, they're trying to fix up some things in here. Some things I can't do everything I want to do in here, but it's an improvement on the other 2.15 a little bit. I see where they're going, but it may take some time for them to get there, or maybe not. Not too sure how hard they're working on it, but it's pretty obvious. And in this track here, we did the plugins here. I recorded something here. Of course, with the plugin, we have the 808 drum here. And then we have another track we have here, which is the track we have right here. So it's kind of cool. And you get a chance to work with this sometimes. It's not bad like that. You get a chance to work with it and sort of like get to understand how it works. Now this video will cover everything right there. As you can see, we covered mostly everything that's working here in the project, except we didn't cover too much up here. You got the metronome, of course. This is covered too in the last video I put out. We also have the timing correction was covered today. You see the beats and the bars right here. And then here we'll cover this next time. We're going to cover more what to do in these parameters, and there's the modes that we have here. These are the modes are very important to have working, but they are working in the background. We just want to make sure everything works here and you understand how to create and use the workflow inside of this software. Now this video is all about the workflow.